If you are easily offended, please leave and don't come back. The views, opinions, and statements from this podcast are by no one. I repeat, by no one. They are not real, and everything is completely made up. This is for entertainment purposes only. The people in this podcast are not doctors, lawyers, or health professionals. They barely graduated high school. It's not that serious. Enjoy the show and have a nice day. Hi. Before I start again, like always, push the follow button, subscribe button, like button, all those buttons. It's nothing to you and everything to me. And also, for this episode, episode 25, tunnel vision. Um, I named it tunnel vision because that's just, I feel like I've always had it when I'm like super focused, and that's just kind of where I'm at now in life. So I decided to use that. so yeah. So first off, I wanted to talk about how we should take in everything, but don't take in everything. If that makes any sense. Like I would say like be very observant, watch your surroundings, watch what you know what I mean, like pay attention to your environment and soak in everything. But then at the same time, kind of like that kind of contradicts me seeing tunnel vision, right? It's just hear me out, okay? uh, but then anyway, like I'd say like take in everything and like observe and absorb it, and kind of like take notes, mental notes, and then kind of just like weed out like the nonsense or like stuff that doesn't like stuff that aren't like relative to like you or relevant to you, and like to like your goals in life and where you're going, or like, do you know what I mean, like things that are for you, and you know it, you feel it, and it's just like you'll know, at least that's what like how like I'm going about nowadays. And like with that, I think that's where like that whole like title comes in with tunnel vision. Like yes, you see everything and absorb everything, but once you are like locked in and you know what you want and you know where you're going, then just focus on that. That's where the tunnel vision comes in. And we can be like so distracted by like so much things, and like what, like for me, I feel like if you are like taking on everything that's being like thrown at you and put in front of you, that you get like overwhelmed and overworked and stressed out, and then that's when you tend to crash. And we don't want that. So it's about like, yes, being aware of what's going on around you, but not taking in everything, because it's just impossible. I mean, it's possible, but I mean, it's the repercussions of doing that is like not beneficial to you. Do you know what I mean? Like, because it's like, and it's everything. It's like we're constantly like fed information, like things right in front of us, our current living situations, podcasts that we're listening to, and like music, and whichever church we belong to, work we go to, like the work environment, friends, family, like your circle of people, like every text message, like just everything in life is like so much constantly being like put into our face. So I feel like it's like really our job to, yes, see it as best as we can, like absorb, like see it as much as we can, but then don't like the things that are not like um right for you, just kind of like not, don't put too much energy and effort into it, because like you have to really get to where you're going, like it's has to be a priority in your life, like the things that mean the most to you, it has to be a priority in your life. And I think that the best way to get there is just to be aware and be very like conscious of what's going on, but at the same time just kind of filtering out the nonsense and just going on your path, you know. And also know who you are and stand on it. 10 toes down, okay? Just like that Akon song. He said, 10 toes down, like you're digging for gold, okay? Like, it's really like true. Be like, you have to stand on what you believe in, your morals, and your integrity, and like, don't like stray from any of those things, no matter like, what anyone or anything might like say or even do. Like, it's like you have to like it builds like your character and who you are as a person, you know what I mean? Like, that's who you are. Like, why are you going to stray away from it? You know, if you like something, then you like it. And so it's just like, I'm like so like tired of like people like expecting us to conform to society's like rules and all this stuff, you know what I mean? Like, um it's just like, yeah, like cool, like of course, like societal like the rules, like, you know what I mean, like being like polite and kind and things like that. Like, of course those, that should be like already a given, like you should already know that. But I'm talking about like when people are like trying to like change you or like try to like steer you on a different path, or like, you know that something's right in your heart, and um like nobody seems to like agree with you, or everybody seems to like disagree with you, or they try to make you feel bad for it. And like, no, like stand on it and be like, no, this is what I'm doing and this is what I believe, you know what I mean? Like, it's, you have to do that. And it's gonna be like, there could be like a lot of like friction too, because of like, you know, people might not understand your journey, your road, and that's fine. It's okay. Everybody has their own, you know. And like, even with like, to put it like in other terms too as well, like hobbies and things like that. Like, if, you know what I mean, like if you like love going skiing and stuff, and then go skiing, you know what I mean? But like, just like, I would say like, but also be like open minded. And like, if somebody asks you to go like snowboarding instead of skiing, it's kind of like similar, but you know what I mean? You haven't done it before, then this time you might be like, okay, maybe it might be fun, and just go and enjoy it and try it. Or like, even like maybe like nights out too, or like if it's like, say, I don't know, like maybe like, if you want to like go to like a party, or get invited or something, and you know what I mean? Like for me, like, and but for me, like personally, because at this point, because, you know, I'm still like, still like early in my sobriety again. eh, But the idea of it sounds great. You know what I mean? Like, going like socialize and stuff. But then like for me, I know like in that I am not strong enough to be around that, because I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want, things are going too great good for me right now, and I feel like when alcohol gets into the mix, it's just going to tear everything apart. So I want to stay clear of that. And so, and then like, you know, like friends, people might be like, you mean like, don't worry and things like that, but like, no, like, you know, yeah, you can't be there. Or like, if you're on a diet or something, um and then like, you're just, you know what I mean, like you get so much temptations, and people are being like, oh no, what are you talking about, like you're at a great weight and stuff, you're at a great weight. But then like, you know, you feel it, and just stand on it, you know what I mean, like, and even with your beliefs too, your beliefs, if like your church and things like that, like um if your beliefs may not align or fall like completely aligned, or like in parallel with your church, then for me, I feel like I like have my own path, and God knows me and I know him. And like some things might be a little bit different, but at least like if you look at the overall goal, we're trying to get to the same place, right? So, but it might be a little bit different. You know what I mean? I think like so you just have to kind of like find like somewhere where you belong, I guess, with that. And like just from I don't know, just kind of being firm on who you are, and not like getting off that trail, and not like especially when it's like other people like kind of trying to get you off of it. Like no, just you're gonna have to be like really firm and put up your boundaries and just stick to your road, you know what I mean, like where you're going. And so there's like I find like for me it's I'm like very like fortunate that people like really like respect my decisions and stuff, you know what I mean, like I don't get much. I mean, I don't think I get like any. Yeah, I don't get like people trying to like convince me to do things I don't want to do, which is great. And but I think it's because it's the reason why it's like that for me. It's because um I like show consistency of being like no, you know what I mean. Like I'm not gonna do that. And I think like people know me now well enough that I'm not gonna do something if I don't want to. So, and if you want to get to that stage, then you are going to need to be consistent and keep your boundaries up and be like, and just don't be afraid to say no, and just stick to who you are. Oh yeah, and like, and with everything I do too, I try to like lead with like love. You know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, like have like my limits, and which can be very challenging at times. Like there's like when I like make decisions, like at no point in my decision making is like me trying to be malicious or like, you know, like conniving or scheme, like, you know, like coming up with a scheme or whatever. It's like, no, like for what? You know what I mean? Like and like I trust that things are gonna fall into place for me. You know what I mean? So like I don't waste time and energy scheming and things like that. Despite what some people might believe, I think a lot of people think that there's like, you know, somebody's like um watching and controlling things and like kind of like pushing buttons and like, you know, things like that. And it's not at that at all. Like it's not even it's not that calculated. Like I really just do what I feel is right, and what I believe in, and like just try to like, you know, keep peace and love. And again, sometimes that there's like friction involved with that too. Like you know what I mean? Like especially with like loved ones or like people who you care about, or just anybody in general. Like um because of like your like decisions you make, and you know the way you move, and the way you kind of like navigate through like life, like um sometimes like for me, like I was like I just said, like me, like I'm really like stern with it, like no, like this is how it's going to be and this is what I'm doing. And then a lot of times when sometimes when people don't like agree with you or they don't like it, then they might have like an opinion. And like, and I spoke about this on like past episodes, that like I'm like reactive, you know what I mean? Like I might like, you know, kind of like shoot back right away, and not shoot back. Whatever. I wanted, and the algorithm's not gonna run this video now. Anyway, so because I said that S word, but anyway, um, what I mean is like I like to like. I mean, I don't like to do it, but I mean like I have this like tendency to like kind of like clap back like right away without thinking sometimes. And especially when it's like something that I really like believe in and I'm really stern on, and somebody disagrees with me and they try to like, you know, either comment on it or anything like that, and then something like that like upsets me, and I just like kind of be like, you know what I mean, like go away, kind of like mind your own business kind of thing, when I should have just kind of stood back and be like, okay, like this person doesn't understand where I'm going, doesn't understand me right now at this moment, so I'm just gonna like kind of like, you know, just it's not that serious. Just kind of go about my way and my you know what I mean. Just do me. But unfortunately, I'm still learning. So like sometimes I'll like clap back and or like say give a response that's like um not very nice. But then again, learning everything's a process. You know what I mean? Like I nobody's perfect. All we can do is like learn and like grow from it. And um I'm finding it too like it's really important to like you surround yourself with people who understand you and get where you're coming from. That'll make things a lot easier. So you don't have to like constantly explain yourself and you know what I mean? It's I don't know. So there's that too. And I wanted to I keep and so the next thing that I also wanted to talk about was this here. So people who are on the streaming services, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, you guys will need to look at the cover the cover art of this episode to see this photo. And for those everywhere else, Facebook and YouTube, um, here you guys can see that this photo here. I have, you see, like I don't really. I remember that shirt. Um, I think it was like I think it was like one of my siblings ones, and I probably just like wore it. I don't know, and so, I I don't know where this is honestly. Like I have no memory, but then like I think the date there it says that it was 1999. So I was probably like around like 8 years old around that time, and it just I look like a happy kid, like a happy kid, and I love it. Like I don't know what about you guys, but then like every time like I would say like especially like when I was like still like using and stuff like that, like I like drinking and things like that. I whenever I thought about like my childhood, I always kind of thought about that only mostly like the negative things like popped into my head. You know what I mean? Like the sad things. But then like to like now, that I'm like on like this journey here. Um, I I love seeing me like smiling and things like that, and I'm just it always kind of like I always think about like what am I thinking there and where was I going and where was I like where was my focus at, and it just looks like I'm just like kind of like enjoying myself, but then like I don't know, I just I wish I had like a deeper meaning, but then like it's just I just feel like um I'm just happy that I was like happy. It looks like I was like enjoying myself and I look comfortable, and um yeah, look how skinny I was too. So anyway, I don't really have, I'm sorry, I wish I had like a deeper meaning, but I really don't. And so like there's that. And then and again like I wanted to like talk about um why is it like as we get older we think about our childhood a lot more. I don't know about you guys, but that I found that happening as soon as like I was like hitting like 29, 28, and especially 30 and after 30. That's when I really really was like thinking about, but then this time was like different when I was like thinking about it, not in like a negative way, but then more so like just thinking about like the good times and the happy times and like the good childhood memories that I had. And I don't know what it is. This one keeps on popping in my head. It was like me. It was like I remember it being like in the middle of winter because it was cold, and so I had like this like big blanket on me, and I was in my parents' room, and I was watching Pokemon, like the Christmas movie one, the one with Pikachu, and they were like going sliding and things like that. That one always that memory always pops into my head, and I remember I think it's because I was like happy, and then I was like drinking like hot chocolate, I believe. And so like now, like now I like ever since I kept on remembering that, now I just like have hot chocolate like almost every day. It's just like I don't know, it's like funny. I think that we're just like kind of like all like just child at heart. You know what I mean? Or I don't know. And so like you know what I mean? Like what about you? Like what do you think about when you think about your childhood? You know, like like and also too, I found myself thinking about like a little bit of. So I guess it wasn't all. I guess I didn't know. I was gonna say it wasn't all that positive, but then like it is in a way. The way depending on how you look at it, like I was like thinking like about and not really regretting, but I can't really find another word. But I guess regretting about like some of like the opportunities that were in front of me that had not jumped in, or like you know even like being in the classroom when I was a kid and kind of just like kind of being like why you should have like listened more. You know what I mean? Because like I remember like when I went to like college and things like that, I remember like it being like harder for me. Like I had to like kind of relearn some things and like you know like learn things that my peers there had already like known. And but then you know I mean that's to me like that was my fault because I wasn't paying that much attention at school, I guess. But then like just like things like that, just like think about like random stuff in my childhood. And yeah. And I know like from like past episodes it was just like me kind of like reminiscing about like the bad things that had happened to me. But then like I now I know that like I had to go through those feelings and I had to think about those bad things, those bad moments and those bad memories to get to this point. You know what I mean? Like so it's good that I like felt those things because I went through it. Like I got through it and so like I'm like not thinking about it anymore and I'm like over it. You know what I mean? Cuz it's just when they say like time heals all, it's like I really believe that it does because it's just um you know what I mean? Like I never ran from it. I never tried to avoid it, those feelings and stuff. I talked about it. I talked about it with you guys here. So it was, you know what I mean? This is like my therapy. You guys are like my therapists. And then the next thing I want to talk about, yeah, like still like being a kid at heart, but and you know, just I mean, just adulthood thrown on top of it. Cause like I don't know about you guys. Like I I still feel like a kid, but it's weird at the same time though. Like I know that I have to be like more responsible and you know dependable and things like that. You know, just childhood. I mean, adulthood things, and so there's that. But then like when I'm just like chilling out and stuff like that, or like you know when I'm in like places or doing things that don't require me to be an adult, then I'm usually kind of like just I don't know, like not really like not taking things that seriously and like kind of just like goofy a little bit. So I don't know. Like I just in this like new not in this new I guess like and I'm in like in this vibe of just kind of just being present and you know trying to like enjoy myself and not thinking too much about anything that might I don't really the only thing that like really like gets to me that annoys me or like kind of upsets me is just that like that just like when I was like mentioning before just like the friction you get or like when um just like just like the friction of like when I'm trying to like get something or do something and then you know like it just there's just some blockage or there's like things in the way, you know, whatever it is. You could be people, things, situations. Just sometimes like things just get in the way. And but well I would say like I am like proud of myself for like Like for the way like I mean like I could have like maybe I never really like kind of like my old self, I'd be like way more upset for like a long time to where like now I'm like over it. You know what I mean? Of course, like it might like pop up in my head like, oh yeah, I remember that happened the other day, and I'm like how annoying. But then I might get, but I'm like, whatever though. And then so like I'm proud of that. Like I'm proud of like the mindset that I'm at now, like where I kind of can just like turn the page and go, just keep reading and keep like writing instead of looking at the past and things like that. So that was like a big thing for me this week. So what about you? Think about like like how you handled yourself this week, and think of something and be like proud of like how you handled it and the way you handled it to like how you feel now at this very moment. It's a process. It's a process. It's just about like living and growing and being you and being proud of who you are. Anyway, so I say yeah, that's the episode. I feel like this is like turning into like kind of like a personal journal kind of podcast now. And I know that I've the past couple of episodes was just like me, and I don't know about you guys. You guys have to let me know too if you guys like are like just dying for me to have a guest. I mean, of course, like that's on the table, and they're it's just up to me. Like I just have to go and like set that up and things like that. And but I don't know, like I feel like I just been busy, and there's like a lot of like like more work, which I'm like completely fine with to have like a guest, but it's like everybody's like busy too. You know what I mean? Like everybody has their own things going on, and so it's kind of like challenging to find like a set date and set time for like basically all of them. You know what I mean? So, and not only that too, like I don't know. There's like some things that come along with guests, and I'm finding it too like I don't know, maybe there's like one or two that are kind of just like trying to like tell me like how they want it to go and things like that, which is I guess it's like I mean like in the past, like on past guests, they were all so cool and so like chill, and they were just like what I mean, like they just let me go and they just let me ride, they let me do whatever I wanted, ask whatever I wanted, and that was like so it was just so like genuine and like authentic and real, and I loved it because like there was no constraints, there was no like you know I don't want to do this, or I don't want to do that, or I don't want you to say this, or I don't want you to ask this. There was nothing like that. Everybody just freely let me be me, and I loved it. So I feel like that's that's kind of that one too, that for that reason too, that I'm kind of like holding off on guests too, because I don't know why, for some reason now people are just like kind of being very like cautious, and they I guess they want to like control like their whatever like image and stuff. I don't know. Like I want to like say this like right now too, like that like I am not gonna allow that. You know what I mean? Like it's no, like this is my show, and this is I'm gonna do it like how I want to do it, and it's not like I'm gonna go and like dig up like crazy things about you and like ask like the most like horrible questions. Like no, like I'm not going to like purposely throw you in like the fire or like and things like that. I'm not going to like purposely like ask questions that are like harmful to you or to like others and things like that, at least to like my knowledge, you know what I mean? Like I'm not going to like purposely like try to hurt you or anything like that. That just sounds crazy and psycho, you know what I mean? Like no, like I just what I'm saying is just like I especially if it's like online, if you like have like a public persona or image, or you know what I mean, if you're very like public online and things like that too, and all those things are like public, so it's like online, then you should expect me to ask about it. You know what I mean? Because like people want to know. Like for me, my job when I go like interview somebody, in my mind, I think about what my viewers want to hear and like the questions that they might have. That's also the questions I'm going to ask you and things that I want to know as well. And the goal is to always like to get people to know who you are as a person and like what you're like, what your ideas might be, what you're doing right now currently, what you got going on, what you're gonna want to like promote and shine light to, and it's I'd say like for me every time like I did an interview with somebody, I walked away with it just being like this is I always like felt good about it and I felt like I knew them so much more. And also too like the big one too was like so like much people would like reach out to me and then they'll like talk about the like an interview that that they had seen from my podcast, and they would like tell me about like how like it like like I mean it meant a lot to them. And I feel like that's like the goal. Like the goal is to get your voice out there and get heard so that other people can like relate to you and get you and just kind of put a bunch of information out there and just get people to like learn from it and like see it and things like that. You know what I mean? Like it's all good over here, okay? Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm not gonna be like freaking Wendy Williams and like just be super messy and all that stuff. Like go look at my past interviews, okay? If you're scared to come on here, go look at my past interviews and just see like that's basically like I'm just sitting asking questions and vibing with you, okay? Anyway, I'm going on too much about it. This is thank you for listening to another episode of Vernon's podcast. And again, push those buttons. And also too, I'm trying this new thing on I had just posted my first video about it on my personal TikTok account, and the username is Vernon S67. And basically like I had just like read a chapter on the New Testament of the on King James version of the Bible. And so basically what I want to do from this point forward is like just read a chapter, and I'm going to do it in order from the First Testament. So right now it's St. James, so chapter 1, and that's what I had posted, St. James chapter 1. And then I just basically, when I'm reading it, I write notes, and in my notes it's just like basically what I get out of it, or like maybe just things that I like, it might be like important parts of the chapter, important points of the chapter, or like things that I would like to remember, or just notes basically. And I just share that on my TikTok. And again, that's Vernon S67. So that's like something I just started, and I'm really excited about it. And yeah, so I'm gonna continue on with that. And then the next video for that will be chapter 2. Which will be tomorrow. I'm aiming for tomorrow to do another upload on that on TikTok. But anyway, yep, that's the episode. Thank you. Again, it's always a good time talking to all of you.